Weather information to keep your family safe from the storm. Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather is working for you.
On Nightly News tonight, the final push of the holiday shopping season. Will the crowds make it a Merry Christmas for the stores? Also, cancer-free. Rudy Giuliani again tries to clear up questions about his health. The road home. Who's home for Christmas this year? On a New Orleans street, we've been traveling since Katrina. And a Christmas classic. Why it's still as popular as ever. Nightly News starts now.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams.
Hello, everyone. On this Christmas Eve, Brian has the night off. I'm Lester Holt. As Christians across the country prepare to celebrate the birth of Jesus, it is already Christmas at the Vatican, where Pope Benedict is leading the Catholic faithful in the traditional midnight mass in St. Peter's Basilica. While in the Middle East tonight, a return to calm in once strife-torn Bethlehem has seen a return of foreign tourists to celebrate in the traditional place of Jesus' birth. But we begin our coverage tonight back in this country, where on a busy day of last-minute Christmas shopping, the nation's retailers may have finally gotten the gift they've been waiting for. Here's NBC's Pat Dawson.
With the Christmas shopping season reduced to hours, the nation's procrastinators finally got down to buying.
Have a nice day. Merry Christmas.
All 35 million of them.
Today's now or never, so I have to kind of get it today.
Taking advantage of steep discounts, and with Christmas falling on Tuesday, a day off for many, shoppers jammed malls and stores to fill out their wish list.
She thinks this is for the kids. This is for me.
And after a lackluster December, last-minute shopping figures were encouraging. A retail industry group survey showed a surge of buying over the weekend, with sales up 18% over the same period last year.
Consumers are spending, but they're not splurging. They're spending with caution, going for those discounts and buying nothing else virtually.
You are all checked in. You don't.
And at the nation's airports, a surprise holiday gift after 3 days of winter weather that snarled air traffic across much of the country. Today, most flights were running fairly close to schedule.
So hopefully we make it in time.
For many Christmas Eve travelers, the toughest part of the trip was getting through long check-in and security lines, a far cry from the travel nightmares faced by those who left over the weekend. And for 171 members of the Texas National Guard, a very special last-minute gift. After their deployment to Afghanistan was delayed, Southwest Airlines flew them home from a base in North Carolina at no charge.
This is actually the only Christmas present I ever wanted this time, is to be home with my son.
Proving that the best gifts truly are priceless. Pat Dawson, NBC News, New York.
There was a Christmas Eve pause on the campaign trail today as most of the candidates were back with their families. But even back home in New York, Republican Rudy Giuliani could not shake lingering questions about his health, stemming from that emergency trip to the hospital last week. As NBC's John Yang reports, Giuliani once again has tried to set the record straight.
I think he needs one.
After handing out presents at a Harlem Children's Center this morning, Rudy Giuliani tried to clear the air about his health. 5 days after ordering his campaign plane turned around shortly after takeoff because of what he said was a severe headache.
I'm perfectly healthy. I don't have cancer.
Giuliani, who survived prostate cancer diagnosed in 2000, still hasn't said what caused his headache. He promised a full report from his physician, perhaps as soon as this week. The health of his campaign is also in question as his poll numbers deteriorate, both nationwide and in key early primary states, amid a string of embarrassing news reports.
I think what you're seeing here is the cumulative effect of all these stories over the past couple of weeks in particular. And there's stories about his personal life, but there's also stories about the way that he has sort of managed New York City.
Particularly embarrassing have been questions about whether a New York City police detail was assigned to protect Judith Nathan during his extramarital affair with her. She's now his third wife.
To spend a month talking about that and explaining himself and defending himself, I think really broke any momentum he had.
Momentum the campaign needs for its high-risk strategy, betting that Giuliani can afford to do poorly in Iowa and New Hampshire and still win enough delegates in such states as Florida, New York, and California to win the nomination.
You can't write off the two first states, which the whole world is going to be covering, and maintain any interest or any lead.
Giuliani says it will be clear soon enough who's right.
We think we have the right strategy. Everybody else thinks they have the right strategy. And you find out the answer to that when it's all over.
One clear indication of that strategy is the location of Giuliani's first campaign appearance after Christmas. Not Iowa, not New Hampshire, but Florida. Lester?
John Yang tonight. John, thank you. Giuliani and the other Republican contenders are getting a run for their money from a candidate who is spending a lot of his own money in the primary races in a presidential campaign in which candidates could spend a combined $1 billion by November. The biggest spender so far is former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. Here's NBC's Ron Allen.
It's an honor to be here with you. In the early voting states, it's hard to miss Mitt Romney on TV.
I'm Mitt Romney, and I approve this message.
He's spending a total of some $300,000 every day on ads in 5 states. That's about 21,000 ads that cost some $16 million through the primary season. An example of how, at more than $53 million, according to the latest campaign reports, Romney has outspent every Republican and Democrat in the race.
I'm not afraid to do what's necessary to raise the money and make the investments necessary to get my message out.
And what's more, Romney's biggest single donor at $17 million is Willard Mitt Romney himself. While he insists using his own money frees him from demands by special interest donors, critics say money distorts the playing field, and candidates can later repay themselves using contributions.
The people who will repay him will want something for that. So I think special interests could, in fact, invade this campaign in an enormous way.
My life was in the private sector.
Romney made his fortune, an estimated $350 million, in the risky high-stakes business of private equity investments. He founded Bain Capital in the early 80s, a firm that put millions of dollars and expertise into underperforming companies, some of them household names, and made them extremely profitable.
They really perfected this strategy and this approach. It could literally be called the Bain way. And it made millions and millions of dollars.
But sometimes jobs were eliminated, an issue that helped sidetrack Romney's 1994 U.S. Senate campaign.
We've got over 250 people out on the street. Yes, by all means
you
do.
really ought to concentrate your effort is on the executives of the company.
And lately, as Romney has watched his lead in Iowa disappear, some of his rivals have been taking shots at him about his wealth.
Clearly frustrated that they have spent millions and millions of their dollars, and they are now significantly behind me.
Romney says there is a limit on spending his own money.
My wife and I know what the limit is, and my campaign manager knows.
Deep pockets also can help a candidate stay in the race longer. And for Romney, his limit appears to be nowhere in sight.
Okay. Hi, how are you?
Ron Allen, NBC News, New York.
There is a bit of other big money news to report tonight. The brokerage firm Merrill Lynch, hit hard by the mortgage meltdown, announced today it had gotten more than $6 billion in emergency capital, much of it from Singapore. Merrill also said it is selling most of its commercial finance business to General Electric, the parent company of NBC Universal. Wall Street liked it. Despite a short and light day of trading, the Dow was up nearly 100 points. Stock prices aren't the only thing going up tonight, so is the cost of those holiday cakes and cookies. NBC's Roger O'Neill now on the rising price of a key ingredient that's pushing up the cost of Christmas.
From cookies to pastries. If flour is in the mix, the cost is rising faster than the dough. But the nation's wheat farmers aren't complaining. Wheat was golden this year. Southern Illinois farmer Rich Giebert bought an early Christmas present.
You initial each page.
A new combine.
There's money left at the end of the day this year. And that's great. That's a good feeling.
Around the world, a perfect storm of bad weather, surging demand, and dwindling supplies sent wheat prices soaring to $9.62 a bushel, a record, and 55% higher than a year ago. While prices have eased, demand hasn't. Even with more wheat being planted for next year, commodity trader Jim Bauer says don't expect to see cheap bread again.
And I think it's going to be here for a while until we see a much bigger supply come back into the world market.
But farmers know there is a downside. Jimmy Moncrief says prices are only half the story.
It's not how much you get, it's how much you got in it. What did it cost you to produce it?
And the Georgia farmer is watching his cost, from fuel to fertilizer, skyrocket. The baker's bowl of cost isn't so sweet either.
These golden grain prices have bakers seeing green every time they use their main ingredient. Flour costs are up as much as 70%. These are going to be French rolls. They were $1.40 a month ago, $1.55 today.
This is the best it's been for wheat farmers in 30 years, but they expect petroleum costs next year to squeeze profits.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
As shoppers are squeezed now to keep rising prices from souring the taste of their sweet brownies and cakes. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Chicago.
When Nightly News continues for this Christmas Eve Monday, one of the best-known musicians in the world has died. Also, NBC News In Depth, bringing Christmas to places where it's not always welcome. And later, a Christmas classic that's a hit all over the world. How does it stay center stage?
My allergies make it hard to work, but I can't take an allergy medicine that puts my head in a fog. That's why I'm Claritin Clear out here and in here too. Whether it's dust, mold, or Sam here, Claritin relieves all my worst indoor allergy symptoms for 24 hours. I sneeze, this guy could lose his nose. Only Claritin is proven to make me alert and focused. And Claritin won't make me drowsy like other allergy medicines can. For me, a sharp mind's more important than a sharp chisel. Non-drowsy Claritin. Live Claritin Clear, indoors and out.
Glad Force Flex trash bags are so strong. One bag is all you need to pick up the pieces from even your biggest disasters.
Where do you want the piano?
Get Glad Force Flex and find out why 7 out of 10 consumers prefer it over the other leading brand.
So this is the first room that I've worked on that I really wish nobody had to use, because so many heart attacks can be prevented. Her husband didn't expect to have a heart attack, but you can take action to stay out of this place. Bear aspirin, taken regularly, cuts the risk of heart attack by 32%. So please, talk to your doctor about Bear.
Aspirin is not appropriate for everyone, so be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Bear aspirin. Expect wonders.
Your throat hurts. Your cough hurts. Even your congestion hurts. And you've got the whole day ahead of you. Think fast. Introducing new Tylenol Cold Rapid Release Gels. They relieve even your most painful cold symptoms fast. New Tylenol Cold Rapid Release Gels.
A 2-year investigation. Terrorists buying real passports. But the biggest surprise is who's selling. An all-new Dateline, Friday, 9/8 Central on NBC.
MSNBC weeknights. See why critics are saying Keith Olbermann knows how to do news best. Real news, real honest. Countdown with Keith Olbermann tonight on MSNBC.
NBC News In Depth, Christmas concerns. Tonight, the challenge for Christians in areas of the world where religious persecution has long been a part of life. We start in Iraq, where, as NBC's Stephanie Gosk reports, even a 60% reduction in violence across the country has not made it much easier for Christian leaders to keep their community together.
At Christmas Eve Mass in Baghdad, a congregation not quite large enough to fill the church sang songs about peace, and Iraq's only cardinal prayed for unity. Pope Benedict elevated Emmanuel Deli to cardinal just last month in Rome.
He prayed for us and for the peace, for the security. We need that.
Especially Christians, targeted since the war began because of their faith. The worst attack was on October 16, 2004. Islamic militants bombed 5 Baghdad churches, including St. George's, nearly destroyed by 60 pounds of explosives.
The priest here tells us that they started rebuilding the church the day after the attacks. They even had a mass, and people came, undeterred by the damage or the danger.
But since that day, Father Vincent says his congregation has been shrinking. In fact, across Iraq, there has been an exodus of Christians. So far, 300,000 have left the country, almost a third of the Christian population before the war.
Nobody can stop this immigration, it's a real exodus.
For those who remain, like Rahed Alfred's family, a lull in violence means Christmas this year will be a bit better. But daily life for them is still difficult. Rahed's family and their dog Max had to move out of their home because of sectarian violence. Friends are letting them stay in this house in a safer neighborhood for free.
If you had
the money and the visas to go someplace else, would you
I wish.
With fears about security and concerns their faith is no longer welcome in Iraq, just keeping Christians here until next Christmas will be the new cardinal's hardest job. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, Baghdad.
And now to China, where there's a very different holiday atmosphere this year. As NBC's Mark Mullen reports, there are signs that both Christianity and religious tolerance are growing slowly in the world's most populous country.
There's no choir director at Pastor Zhang's church located inside a modest Beijing family home. No ornate altar, artwork, or adornments. But these Christmas worshipers say, just as in the world's grandest cathedrals, they believe God is fully present here and are glad to see the Chinese police are not.
2 years ago, if you came for an interview, you would be driven away. Today, I can answer your questions, and that's progress.
It's believed China has well more than 20 million Christians, but nobody knows the exact number, because many like these worshipers have remained underground to avoid persecution.
China has often been suspicious of Western-based churches, largely because they have historically been viewed here as vehicles for Western political influence.
But China's religious tolerance is growing, along with attendance at houses of worship. And Bible printer Peter Dean, a Westerner, says he can measure Christianity's popularity with increased orders every year.
The Christian church is growing and thriving, really, within China.
Relations even appear to be improving with the Vatican. For the first time since 1951, 2 Catholic bishops approved by Rome have been consecrated here, helped along by a communist government that increasingly believes some spirituality may be a good balance for this country's other religion, making money. Mark Mullen, NBC News, Beijing.
And up next here tonight, a holiday wish list along a street where some are home for Christmas for the first time in a long time.
Glad Force Flex trash bags are so strong. One bag is all you need to pick up the pieces from even your biggest disasters.
Where do you want the piano?
Get Glad Force Flex and find out why 7 out of 10 consumers prefer it over the other leading brand.
The misery of a cold hits all over your body. To feel better, immerse yourself in total cold relief with Alka-Seltzer Plus. It speeds relief all over and even dissolves pain. Feel relieved, feel restored with Alka-Seltzer Plus.
Powerful battery. Sleek styling. Compact design. It's time for one interchangeable lithium-ion battery to do more. It's time for the VPX system from Black & Decker. It's time to retool.
Well, that's it. I just took my osteoporosis medicine, and now I'm set for the whole month because I take Boniva. Just 1 pill a month builds strong, healthy bones to help prevent fractures. And it's working for me. My test results prove my bones have gotten stronger. Studies show after 1 year on Boniva, 9 out of 10 women had better bone density. Unlike treatments you have to take every week, you only need Boniva once a month. So it makes my bones stronger on my schedule.
You should not take Boniva if you have low blood calcium, severe kidney disease, or cannot sit or stand for at least 60 minutes. Follow dosing instructions carefully. Stop taking Boniva and tell your doctor if you experience difficult or painful swallowing, chest pain, or severe or continuing heartburn, as these may be signs of serious upper digestive problems.
I've got this one body and this one life, so I'm glad this one pill is making my bones strong.
Ask your doctor if Boniva is right for you. And for a free trial offer, call 1-800-4-BONIVA. There's only one.
This is the way Afrin gets rid of your congestion.
You're like this. You use Afrin once,
And you're like this, all day. Nothing relieves congestion better.
so why suffer?
When there's the 12-hour relief of Afrin. Amazing.
Man has always dreamed of flying. Now we can. Watch these adrenaline junkies soar at over 100 miles per hour. Wednesday on Today on NBC.
Real-time closed captioning is brought to you by Bayer Aspirin. Painkiller, lifesaver. Expect wonders.
Back now to check in with some families we've been following in the city of New Orleans since Katrina. They all live along a street called Fillmore Avenue. It's the east-west artery that links diverse neighborhoods. We've used it as sort of our window into the slow and difficult world of recovery. Now, 2.5 years after the storm, NBC's Martin Savage looks at just who will be home for the holidays.
All Blanche and Lot Bell want for Christmas is to be home.
We know it won't be finished, but that's okay.
They're close, but not quite there. So what's the holdup?
The contract.
Contractor.
Right, yeah.
There's a bit more to it. Like a lot of Katrina victims, the Bells aren't just rebuilding, they're upgrading.
And he stained it?
Adding cost and time.
Boy, we were talking about Mother's Day, and then we started talking about maybe Halloween, then maybe Thanksgiving.
And now it's Christmas. We hope.
Things are more certain at the Lakeview end of Fillmore.
This was a really nice house once upon a time.
Gary Pendergast won't be home for the holidays. Not in the house he knew for almost 30 years.
I think I'm done with it.
He's selling it. 2 months before Katrina, Gary Pendergast had his home appraised at $500,000. Today, he's selling it as is for $165,000.
This was a really nice house.
Unfortunately for Gary, New Orleans is flooded with flooded homes for sale.
It's been very difficult. Market's tight.
He's had only one offer, which he rejected.
I'm great.
Things are a lot brighter for 75-year-old Yola Fortin.
Wish I was back in my little house, but I'm great.
She finally got her road home money, as did about 90,000 other people this past year. The average payout, $64,000.
I can rebuild. Without that money, I could not rebuild.
At last, she can get started.
Yeah, it makes it feel a little like Christmas.
Then there's Nick Klemenakis. When we met, he was 78 with no flood insurance.
A lot of times I feel like I want to give up.
Struggling to rebuild, doing much of the work himself. Now he's just shy of 80 and back.
Being back in a house is just like starting your life all over again.
Nick Klemenakis will be home for Christmas. And for the first time in more than 2 years, not only in his dreams. On Fillmore Avenue, Martin Savage, NBC News, New Orleans.
Tonight, we report on the passing of a music legend. Jazz great Oscar Peterson has died at his home in Canada. For 7 decades, he dazzled crowds with his speed and technical skill on the piano. Peterson won nearly every award, including a Lifetime Grammy and a spot in the International Jazz Hall of Fame. Here he performs for an admiring audience in Berlin. Oscar Peterson was 82.
When sinus pressure from a cold or allergies start to build, all you want is relief. Relief from sinus pressure, from feeling so stuffed up, so congested. You might just blow. That's why there's Sudafed PE. The medicine in Sudafed PE is clinically shown to relieve nasal congestion fast. Sudafed PE. Get your head back where it belongs. And for relief of your cold symptoms, try Sudafed PE Severe Cold.
Which cream, according to Good Housekeeping, beat the expensive creams? New Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream. It kept skin hydrated longer than even the cream costing $350. Save your skin and hundreds of dollars.
Glad Force Flex trash bags are so strong. One bag is all you need to pick up the pieces from even your biggest disasters.
Where do you want the piano?
Get Glad Force Flex and find out why 7 out of 10 consumers prefer it over the other leading brand.
Today I really struggled with my fibromyalgia. I had pain all over. My muscles ached, so tender to the touch. Fibromyalgia is a real widespread pain condition, which also makes daily activities difficult. But until recently, there were no medicines approved by the FDA to manage fibromyalgia. Prescription Lyrica is the first and only FDA-approved treatment that can help relieve fibromyalgia pain and improve function. Lyrica is not for everyone. Some of the most common side effects of Lyrica are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands and feet. Tell your doctor right away about any serious allergic reaction that causes swelling or affects your breathing or your skin, or about any changes in your eyesight or muscle pain along with a fever or tired feeling. You should not drive or operate machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Ask your doctor if Lyrica is right for you.
Put the power of the Oral-B experts on your holiday shopping list. New Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Its wireless monitor helps you brush better, and its floss action head cleans teeth to help reverse gingivitis. Give the gift of oral health. Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide.
Trust Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather. Powered by live radar and the most accurate weather tracking technology available. That means Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather team can track storms from hundreds of miles away and zoom right down to your street. Vital weather information to keep your family safe from the storm. Channel 4's Pinpoint Weather is working for you.
Finally tonight, a Christmas classic, a story written 164 years ago this month that's had more influence in the way we celebrate Christmas than almost anything else. Yet the lessons from this ghostly story by Charles Dickens remain as relevant as ever. Here's NBC's Lee Cowan.
His is perhaps the most famous bad mood in history. Ebenezer Scrooge, with his bathrobe and slippers, somehow never seemed to go out of style.
My favorite scene.
He's been played by more than 100 actors in almost every language. And the host of ghosts that haunt him and us never seem to tire of their job.
Save someone's life is one thing, but to save someone's soul, it's noble. He's very noble.
Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol in 1843, out of necessity. He was out of money. It took him only a matter of weeks, and it became an instant bestseller. Sold at just 5 shillings apiece.
You're rich enough.
He would be rich beyond even his words if he held the rights today. Spirit. A Christmas Carol has become nothing short of a modern myth. It's even been credited for inspiring other holiday favorites.
I jumped in to save George.
Like Frank Capra's It's a Wonderful Life.
Merry Christmas!
George Bailey's story, say scholars. He's all Dickens.
The fantasy that you can step back from your own life and read it as if it were the story of somebody else and then change it. That's part of the power of the story.
A Christmas story that has never been out of print.
Dickens may not have invented how we celebrate Christmas, but he's certainly a huge part of it. In San Francisco, for example, this is a Christmas tradition. You can literally walk right into the era that inspired him. 100,000 square feet of all Dickens all the time.
Bah, humbug!
And here, whether in character or out, the Dickens lesson seems part of their DNA.
The adventure of life is to take what you have and give it away, not keep it.
Happy Christmas, sir.
Charles Dickens himself summed it up best.
Change yourself and you change the world around you.
All the real Dickens hoped to raise, he said in the original book's preface, was the ghost of an idea. That idea? That kindness and caring are better companions in life than greed and mistrust.
What day is it?
What day? What's Christmas Day, Coast?
By now we all know how the story ends.
Then I haven't missed it.
But Dickens' challenge remains the same.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Don't just wish everyone a Merry Christmas tonight. Find a way to keep it year-round. Lee Cowan, NBC News, San Francisco.
And that's our story of Christmas present for this Monday night. Thank you for being with us. I'm Lester Holt. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.
This is Channel 4 News, working for you.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6. Well, it may be the holidays, but for one well-known Tennessean, the next 2 days will be a working vacation. Some polls have Fred Thompson lagging behind in the final weeks before the primaries, and tonight he's getting ready for what could be the most critical weeks in his bid for the White House. Channel 4's Mark Stewart is here with that story. Mark?
Good evening, Jennifer. Fred Thompson is behind in the polls, but people behind his campaign say that's part of their strategy not to peak too early. At the same time, have they waited too long to start their search? Fred Thompson's Christmas greeting is online, not in person. All of the candidates are taking a break for the holiday.
Thank you all very, very much. I guess it is kind of a mild Iowa day.
It's the day after Christmas when the work begins once again in Iowa. Recent polls have shown Christian conservative Mike Huckabee leading the pack of Republicans. So Thompson must go after undecided voters, according to political scientist Bruce Oppenheimer.
People who have not made up their mind in Iowa, there could suddenly be a move to a given candidate. The question is, if there's a move to a given candidate,